Poor Jean. It all came out at the inquiry. She poisoned herself and the twins.
So I heard. Well, of an unsound mind, they said. Imagine that. An unsound mind.
Aye, maybe so. She was pregnant again, you see, and near daft with the fear of it.
You tell me the lassie Chris never cried for days, but when she started, they couldn't get her stopped.
Poor Jean.
Aye. An unsound mind.
You knew you'd never be the same again. But the world went on, and you went with it. It was not only Mother and the twins that had died. The child in your heart had died too. The bairn that believed the hills were made for its play. Every road set fair with its warning posts and hands ready to snatch you back from the brink of danger. That died. And the Chris of the books and dreams died with it.
Well, you believe in college now, I'll warrant. Education's dirt, and you'd better clear of it. You'll find little time for dreaming when you're keeping house at Blowery.
You thought of the hours and days as a dark, cold pit you'd never escape. But you'd escaped. The black damp went out of the sunshine, and the world went on. The white faces and whispering ceased from the pit. You'd never be the same again. But the world went on, and you went with it. So you folded up your dreams and laid them away by the dark, quiet corpse that was your childhood.
You'll get back to school if I say so. And if I have any more of your lip, I'll let your backside until the symptoms move.
The boys have enough to put up with. They're afraid to go back to school. Aye, afraid and ashamed.
Nobody in my house has anything to feel ashamed for.
Oh, aye, is that a fact? Not even hearing her mother called a dafty?
Now you watch your tongue.
Well, that's what folk are saying, isn't it? Why should Alec and Dodd go back to school? I wouldn't.
Now I'm warning you one more word.
Ah, you needn't glower at me. You take damn good care you never go near a mart or a market yourself nowadays. I have to do all your dirty work for you.
By God, I'll smash your face in.
Take care, Guthrie. Take care.
Will, I need this table for baking.
And the thing I've been meaning to ask you, where do you wander to at night? Like a tank?
What's to be done then?
About Dodd and Alec.
I was wondering if Uncle Tom and Auntie Janet would take them.
Those two, Uncle Tom and his wee tin medals.
Whatever you think, Will, they're kind enough folk, and the boys would get their schooling in Aberdeen. Do you think he'll ask them?
Well, if he does, he'll be too proud to tell us.
So you're taking them then?
Aye, aye, no doubt about it, aye.
Dodd and Alec will be fair pleased that I thought of coming to stay with you.
Aye, I will get on fine. I'll teach the boys to play kites, aye. That's a grand game. I won these for playing kites.
Ah, well, that's it settled then.
And not just settle, Joan. If we take the boys, we want to keep them.
What's that?
Janet means that we would like to adopt them.
So you'd steal the flesh of my body from me?
Aye, Joan, just that. We've never a way of our own. Though God knows it's no for the want of trying.
Hell blood breeds hell.
Aye, it'll be a long time before I have to kill myself, because my man beds me like a breeding sow.
You dirty bitch.
No, careful, Guthrie. She might be your sister, but she's my wife.
And you will match the pair of you.
At least he didn't saddle me with a kist full of bairns.
No, he was never man enough.
No, Guthrie, and you were man enough to see your wife in the kirkyard before her time.
You hear what she's saying to me?
Aye, you should be lipped for what you did.
Aye.
Will, I couldn't stand stand it any longer.
Ah, never heed the dirty old devils. One's as bad as the other. Father, auntie, or that midden that's covered with its wee tin medals. Go away to the park with me and we'll bring home the kye. Don't let Father make a damned slave of you, Chris, as he'd like to do.
That's easy enough said, Will.
You were meant for better things than the weary plighter of the land and its life. She sit and wait for the rain or the thaw.
Aye. Can't be that often enough. Though Father wouldn't agree. You know what he aye says? The salt of the earth are the folks that drive a straight drill and never look back.
Ah, to hell with what Guthrie says. You do what you want.
I might, if I knew what it was. I'm like a ploughed field, Will, with all the furrows going crisscross. But what else can I do but bide at home now?
I don't know. But I'll be libbed, poleaxed and gutted if I stay here. We've our own lives to lead.
Where'll you go?
Canada, maybe. Man can soon be his own master there.
Canada? Oh, Will. And you could send for me as your housekeeper.
Aye, well, maybe. But maybe it would hardly suit you.
Is that the only reason, Will? Or is there some other lass you'd sooner take?
There's a lass in Drumlithy. Molly Douglas, she's called.
And she's the one you go to see every night. I wondered what Father meant.
Come on. We'd best get the kye home.
With Alec and Dodd gone, there were only 3 of us sitting to meat at the kitchen table. I listened for days, for voices of folk that were dead, were gone. But even that lost its strangeness in time. The harvest drew on. Lush and heavy enough, it had sprung and yellowed with the suns and rains of the last 2 months.
Did you look at it? Wish they left that old thing at echt.
Wished Willie might hear you.
I don't care if he does. What he wants to get is a binder. Save our backs.
Have you nothing to do, the pair of you? There's a harvest to be gathered in.
You'd gather it a sight quicker if you bought a binder.
I'll no hear of the things. The old reaper's fine enough for them that's willing to work. Not that there's many about. But when folk breed, they all breed again. The scythe'll come back into its own. Aye, and your reapers and binders will rot in rust.
Ah, well, this one has, for hour long. I'm damned if I'll be seen driving the thing. I'll be the fool of Kinraddie.
If Kinraddie's laughing can make a bigger fool of you than nature did, it'll be a miracle. Don't fret your doubt, my manny. I'll do the driving. Chris, you follow down at the tail and gather the shaves in. Come on then, boy. Here.
Every year at harvest time, there came something terrible and queer on Father. You couldn't handle a thing with a name. It was as if he grew stronger and crueler then, ripe and strong, to the strength of the corn.
Get on with it now. I want that boat clear by the time I come back.
Aye. May be the best weather for the harvest, but it's all to cut in this weather of heat, eh?
It won't last well. The rain's due.
God help the crops that wait cutting then.
Is the maester about?
Father!
What is it?
I'm looking for work, if you've got any.
Maybe. Let's see the work you've on you first.
Aye. Fine that.
You can sleep in here. There's a bed made up.
Aye. And the morrow?
Well, I'll maybe take you on for a day or so if the weather holds.
I'll be real content with that.
I'll send my daughter out with some supper for you.
All right. See the tinker's not eating with us, then?
No, wouldn't have him in the house. The creature might be rotten with lice. There's no good doing kindness to tinks.
I'm sorry you have to take your supper out here. I'd have had you eat in the house if it wasn't for Father.
You better fash yourself about that, lass. I'm as little anxious for his company as he is for mine. Forby, he's just a Kinraddie clown.
I've no lain with a man yet, lass. I can see. Oh, that's a sore waste of hot blood like yours. So mind, if you want me, I'll be here. Mind not. I'll be here if you want me.
We're behind with the stucking, and the weather might break.
All right, mate.
We'll be working nights soon.
Not me. I'm having nothing to do with night working. Good night, Chris.
Chris, get to your bed when you finish the milking.
Aye, Father.
So that was the harvest madness that came upon us. That set Father singing hymns in the fields with a queer, keen shrillness that brought the sweat to the palms of your hands. That sent Will off to his lass in Drumlithy, evening upon evening. That caused, without beginning or reason, a strange ache to come in me. In my breasts, in my throat, and below my heart. And I thought of the tink lying there, and how easy it would be to steal down the stairs, across the close, dense black in the shadows, to the barn. But then I would laugh at the daft thoughts and look at myself in the glass. I was growing up. Not bonny, perhaps, but limber and sweet. And so I saw myself with that grave brown face John Guthrie's blood had bequeathed me. So strange it felt, with the beams of moonlight running across me. And I thought myself sweet and cool and fit for that lover who would someday come and hold me. So. Aye, the harvest madness was out in Kinraddie, and if I was quick to master mine, others were not so fleet.
Tavendale.
That's my name. You and Tavendale?
Oh, I ken who you are. You ken who I am, so you'll ken what I'm here about.
You're Shay Strachan from Peasy's Nap. Sarah Sinclair's brother-in-law.
Just that. Alec Much says he saw you and Sarah coming out to the larch wood up by.
Does he know?
Don't deny it. You near jumped out of your skins, the pair of you, when he cried good night. The story will be all over Kinraddie by now.
Aye, likely it would be. You might try and hide with your lass at the top of Ben Nevis. 10 to 1 when you got there, you'd find some old Kinraddie creek, sniggering themselves daft at your shame.
Well, what do you intend to do about it, eh? Have you a mind to marry her, then?
I think she's a bit old for me.
What the hell are you laughing at?
Little. Damn little. Myself, I feel like weeping at the sight of it.
Oh, my Shay was more than a match for young Tavendale. Coarse, dour, Highland brute. But then the rest of the bothy lads up and went for him.
I heard the Che got home to Peasy's Nap with hardly a stitch in his back.
Aye, maybe so. But he left young Tavendale with a black eye big enough to solde your husband's boots.
Oh, it's fair terrible what goes on in Kinraddie. Munro went up to see the minister at the manse the other day. He wanted Gibbon's signature in some lawyer's paper, but the minister wasn't at home. At least that's what he was told. But as he was coming home through the man's garden, he heard some rustling and squealing in the grass. So Munro picked up some gravel and threw it. And you'll never guess what.
What?
Up out of the grass rises the maid from the manse, and she goes trailing past Munro with a glazed look in her face.
Wanton bitch.
Aye. But there's more. Next thing, Munro finds the Reverend Gibbon at his elbow, breathing great deep bass, and Munro says, well, Mr. Gibbon, you've surely been running a race. And straight into the manse he goes without a word, just slamming the door with a bang. It made Cuddy still open his boots. Well, that should about do it, I think.
I thought you never spread scandal about folk, Rob.
I don't, only about horses. But maybe a class minister's lower than them.
Oh, well, likely the story's true enough.
That can be imagination. Munro never had any. Aye. First you and Tavendale and then the minister. Must be the time of the year. How was your harvest at Blue Eyrie?
Oh, the crops have fared none too badly this once. But you can see in a normal year, the corn will hardly come at all.
It's fell coarse land you've got in these long, stiff slopes.
I've been staggered by the dourness of it. You know, it's coming plain to me, Rob, that the day of the crofter is finished. The day of the folk like ourselves. The last of the farming folk that wring their living from the land with their own bare hands. It's a sign of the times, Rob. Aye. A sign of the times when ministers go out and whore with the rest. A sign of the times when women take their own lives or flaunt their harlotries as they please.
A sign of the times he saw in Mother's killing of herself to shame him. For bitterness had grown and eaten away into the heart of him in his year at Blue Eyrie. And he saw a darkness down on the land he loved better than his soul or God.
Aye, laugh, you mucker.
Then one night, I heard him get out of bed and go slow padding about like a great cat. A beast that sniffed and planned and smelled at the night. And he came soft along the cowering creak of the landing to stop by my door. I held my breath, near sick with fright. Though what was there to be feared of? I heard his breath come quick and gasping, and the scuffle of his hand on the snick of the door. Then that stopped, and the house was quiet. But I didn't dare sleep again till Will came clattering home in the still small hours.
On my way up to the hill with a gun, Chris. You'll see to the cattle before you go to bed.
I'll see to them, Father.
See the burning winds up Drumtuchty way, Chris? Come away up the hill and have a try at ours. They're damn sure I need it.
I've got my jelly to make you gowk.
Ah, to hell with your jelly. We'll all soon be jelly and bones in a grave ourselves. Come on.
Best leave it till Father's there.
Ah, maybe you're right. If I had got the fence, old Guthrie would be casting me out to Blaweary for bringing his grey hairs in sorrow to the grave.
What would you do if he did put you out?
I would go.
Would you get a fee?
Oh, aye, damn the fears of that.
With the harvest nearly over, you don't look all that sure to me. Well,
All right.
I met Douglas in Drumlithy yesterday. She asked me to ask you to go and see her. Well,
Oh, I heard you. What's the good? I can't have a coin like other folk. I haven't even got a fee, as you said.
maybe she doesn't want your fee. Just you.
Please, Chris, tell Will to ride over and see me again. Tell him to come tonight. I just can't bear it without him any longer. I don't care if that sounds shameless. Chris, I can see what you're thinking. You think that then, like all the rest of them, but it isn't true. I just love him so sore. I can't live if I don't see Will.
They're saying things about her and you in Drumlithy.
Who are saying things?
Galt and other coarse stinks like that.
Galt, the gardener, yon big creesh.
Aye. I was in getting the blackberries for the jam the other day, and he looked at me in a queer kind of way. Then he started joking and hinting and saying things.
What things?
Oh, aye. When isn't much a well here of late. Faith and the roses are fair fading from Molly Douglas's cheeks.
What the I say? That Molly's with a bairn to you, and that you're biding away from her now.
Galt said that?
He hinted at it. But he'll do more than hint when he's not speaking to a sister of yours.
He said that about Molly. The orra swine. God, I'll mash that bloody Galt's head in so his own mother won't know it.
Well, I know how you feel. I could have clouted him myself. But that would only stir up worse scandal. Folk would just snigger and say there was something sure in the story of Molly's condition.
Oh, what am I to do, Chris?
Do you love her, Will?
I'm away to Drumlithy.
Very well, it's a fine night.
Don't you get it tonight, Will? The glasses are white for lying on.
Speaking to me?
Who else?
Young Guthrie, you fear gone daft. The man's old enough to be your father.
Tja, if I had a father like that, I'd kill him, then go drown myself.
Your father's in the kitchen, is he?
Aye, sir.
Aye. Right. Good evening, Mr. Guthrie. Can I have a word with Will?
Well, Father wants you. He's got the minister with him.
What does he want?
You can fine. He'll have heard about that tushy you had with Galt last night.
Do you think so?
Oh, Will, everybody's heard of it. You're the laughing stock of Kinraddie.
Oh, but Chris, when I went to Drumlith, I had no intention of doing anything but seeing Molly.
Oh, I believe you. Will, if he wants to talk to you about, well, anything else...
Aye, I'll keep my temper. Molly made me swear not to fly into a rage if they started their coarse hinting at her.
What's this I hear about you and some orra tink bitch in Drumlithy?
What the devil are you talking about?
Answer my question, Will.
Well, put a question with some sense in it, then.
Show some respect for your father, Will.
Oh, I'm not a mind reader.
Damn to hell, you coarse brute. I'm mad about up with your lip as well as you're whoring every night. Mr. Guthrie, Is it true there's a tink called Molly Douglas that's with bearing by you?
If you call Molly Douglas a tink again, I'll knock your damn teeth down your throat. Oh, well. Aye, even if you are my father. Mind.
Chris, get your bed.
Ah, don't bother, Chris.
Just a moment, Will. Where are you going?
Ah, you're all so keen I should lie with my lass and get her with bairn. I'm off to try and oblige you. Chris, are you awake?
Aye. Come in.
See when I left?
Nothing. Just talk to the minister for a bit. Will, I heard what you said when you went away. But you didn't do it.
Wouldn't be for want of being pushed into it by half the holy muckers in Kinraddie if I had. But you need have no fears on that. I'd as soon cut my own throat as too hurt to Molly.
So the minister's interfering brought no harm. And faith, he'd more need to scrub out his own bit by her. If the story of the servant Quine was true. And soon after that, a worse scandal went on the rounds about him. And the way of it was that a bit daughter was born to the manse. And, proud as punch, he preached a grand sermon that Sunday.
For unto us a child is born.
To us, a child is born. They've been celebrating in Aberdeen. Fell asleep on the train and went past Kinraddie. Kinraddie. Oh, what a bloody place Kinraddie is. How would you like to live between a briar bush and a rotten kale yard in the lee of a house with green shutters, eh? Bloody green shutters. Bloody Kinraddie. You can't lie down with a quine for a minute with some half-witted, clod-hopping crofter. He begins to throw stones at you. He threw a bloody stone at me. Aye. A little respect for God or kirk or minister down in Kinraddie.
Man, it's awful the way the world's going. You ken, I thought of resigning from the railway myself and taking to preaching. But after what you told me, I won't.
So the winter came on and brought the first threshing of the season down in Kinraddie. Father and Will were off to Peasy's nap at the keek of dawn, and an hour later, I followed to help Kirsty with the dinner and things.
Looks as if we'll need some more broth, Chris. Monroe will be in a minute, and he eats as if he hasn't seen food for a fortnight.
I took a look through there, and there's broth and chicken and beef and oat cakes and...
Loaves and jelly and dumplings. So if anybody's gutsy enough to want more, he can away down to the turnip field and help himself.
Man, Cuddiston, you're eating like a collie dog just let off its chain.
Oh, you can fair build up an appetite at the threshing.
Aye, to some folk helping a neighbour with the threshing's just a friendly act. The others, it's nae more than a spree.
Ah, Chris, maybe just another 1 day or 2, Chris. Man, Blaweris is fair expert getting your daughter. Aye, the kitchen's more her style than college.
You're right there.
I wouldn't say that, Cuddiston.
It's true enough. Education does more harm than good.
No, that's not exactly what I said.
But it's a fact. It's a course thing, learning. A course thing. Teaches your children a lot of damned nonsense that puts them above themselves. Aye, some of them would turn round and give you a lip as quick as look at you.
Oh, well, I suppose...
For a moment, I saw the ill nature grin from the faces of them. And suddenly, I hated the lot. The other Chris of the books came back into my skin. And I saw them, the yokels and clowns everlasting, dull-brained and crude. Then I was shamed as I thought. Che and Long Rob they were, my clowns and yokels. The poorest folk in Kinraddie.
That man, you're clean wrong to say that about education. Education's the thing the working man needs to bring him up level with the rest.
I would have thought a bit balance in the bank would do that.
Now, look here, what I'm saying is...
I can what you're saying, I agree with you.
Right.
The more education, the more sense, and the less a caxing minister.
Oh, no, we'll have no burst words about religion here.
Aye, Christy.
Aye, Will. Oh, there's plenty of room over there. Chris, get a chair for Will.
Why don't you do that there, look well?
Aye.
Sit up there.
Aye. How are you getting on? How are you getting on, Chris?
Oh, fine. How are you?
Well, my back would feel a damn sight easier if I'd spent the day in bed. Hey, Tavendale. Chris, this is Ewan Tavendale.
How do you do?
Chris? Ewan's the foreman at Upper Hill.
Ken, I've heard about... Sit down and I'll get you some food.
Come on, then. You took your time getting here. You'll be lucky if there's anything there.
So that was who. He looked over young for the coarse dour brute folks said he was. He had a face like a wild cat, strong and quick. I half liked it and half hated it. Aye, but then if you could read every child's nature in the way he wiped his nose, it'd be a fine and easy world to go through. That's what Long Rob said.
Father! Chris! Wake up! Wake up!
What's wrong?
What's up? See that light down there in the nap?
What is it, Will? What's the matter?
Take a look out the window. Peasy's nap's on fire. God, it'll be all ablaze in a minute. Hope they've wakened.
Down to theatre. The Strachan's go straight to bed at the chapel 8. Chair'll sleep himself out of this world and into hell in his own firewood if he isn't roused.
God, we'll need ropes and pails.
Then don't stand there like a goat. Get them. Chris, you bide at home now, mind.
Chris, what's keeping you?
Oh, I can't find my corsets.
Oh, damn your corsets.
Oh, light a match, Willem. Come in.
Light up, can't you? Lights are springing up all over Kinraddie. Half the men's will have seen the blaze. Well, but the last one's there, Chris.
Oh, there they are. They slipped down behind the kist.
Oh, you're fine without them. You should never have been born a quine.
I wish I hadn't.
Shane, man! For God's sake, wake up! You want to be roasted?
Wake up, what was that?
I heard it, woman. Wait till I get my trousers on. Kirsty, get up! We're all to hell!
Get bones alive! Close the cattle out to the fire!
Kirsty in the bairns!
I'll see to them!
Get back, man! The rafters will be down in a minute! The beasts! They're in the fire at the back!
Kirsty and the bairns are safe. Oh, but the house is well alight. For God's sake, have you not loosed the cattle yet?
I can't get through to them.
Try to come to the bar from another angle. Rob, see what furniture you can save. Come on, Shay.
Oh!
Get out, mistress, and see to your bairns. I'll see to what's here.
My sampler, my sampler.
Hey?
I made it at the school.
Oh, damn your sampler.
There's somebody trapped in the bog.
No, it's a horse.
Oh, God, that's old Clytie.
Good night, Kirsty.
Sorry, Kay. 2 stirks and 2 cows, that's what I've left.
It was all we could save, Che. I'm right sorry, Che.
I wouldn't even have that if you and John Guthrie hadn't gone in for them. Ah, I was glad when the roof fell in and killed the other beasts.
God, man, I never want to smell roasting beef again.
Jay,
Hi, Chris.
you seen my father or Will anywhere?
Likely they'll have gone home, lass. There's little to do here now but glower at the fire and its mischief.
Aye. Well, I'll away to my bed then. Good night, Jay. Good night, Kirsty.
Aye. Good night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You bitch.
It was the first time a man had ever kissed me like that. Dark and frightening and terrible on the winter road. And that night, it was in my memory. Like being chased and bitten by a beast. But worse. And with something else in it. As though half I'd liked the beast and the biting. And that soft, unshaven cheek against my own. And then I fell asleep and dreamed of him. An awful dream that made me blush even while I knew I was dreaming.